When he came back from the hospital, we got a chance, we were in the hospital, to see his chart, and it used the word vigorous. And we raised our eyebrows at that word because it was so, we didn't know at the time it was so prophetic that he has always had this kind of love of life and this kind of clamor for life. Ellie loves nature. I have this very distinct memory of bringing you to the ocean for the first time. It's when we were living in North Carolina. And you just started clawing your way toward the waves. You wanted to be part of them. You were like some kind of mythical sailor who was captivated by some kind of siren. You just needed to get into that water. You're a sea spirit. When he was about 3 years old, he and Ben and I were hiking in the woods there in North Carolina. And I like to flip rocks and look for reptiles and amphibians, and I found this beautiful little snake. It was harmless. I know what I'm doing, and I picked it up to show him, and he immediately reached out and just grabbed it like that. And the snake, he did it in such a way that was certain, but also didn't scare that little snake. He knew exactly what to do. Ellie loves any kind of wild place. They're all beautiful to him, whether it's forest or desert or sea or sand. Ellie loves justice. And he follows politics. It was mentioned earlier this morning that you read the newspaper, you actually read it, and I love that. When one of his teachers recently made a kind of a comment that could have been construed and maybe was a little racist, he came back home very broken up about this and decided that he had to be the whistleblower. He couldn't, even if it was at risk to himself. And he went and talked to some people, but did not shame this teacher and did not kind of point out and spotlight the kids who were in some ways affected by that comment. Did it with such panache. And the other day we were reading in the USA Today, he looked at a list of 5 top pop singles, and he looked at that list and he said, you know what, all these people are white people. I don't really think that the top 5 songs in America are all by white people. And sure enough, he went to Spotify and top 5 songs, yes. So he found the alternate, he looks for the alternate history and brings truth to light. And I love that about you. Ellie loves everything about food, the cooking and the eating and everything else about it. From his earliest age, he loved to stick his hands into whatever was being made, whether it was bread dough or cookie dough or dry lentils or a bowl of blueberries. He really understood food through his touch. And he loves food adventures. He loves spice, he loves salty, fatty proteins, except that he's also a vegetarian. But we love to cook together. And his curiosity for new foods is limited only by his refusal on moral grounds to eat animals.
Fish.
Yeah. Fish. Oh, yeah, fish. Because Nirvana says they don't have feelings. And Ellie is almost supernaturally well-disciplined. As much as he loves food, he limits himself in what he eats. He has his own kind of kashrut, his own kinds of keeping kosher that are his for moral reasons. And I watch him make lunch every morning, and he could put in the candy bar and he doesn't. And he could put in the sweet granola and he doesn't. He makes these lunches that are like, oh God, I think I'm getting fat when I look at my kid's lunch, because it's yogurt with nuts, berries, chia seeds, a salad with black beans. And he can go without sugar for days. Ellie's sense of imagination and fun are boundless. He said the other day that he plans to change his name to Ellie, middle name is Fake ID Goldman. Here you are. Here's my ID. Along those same lines, he wants to lobby for driver's licenses in this area to have a special option for donating organs to Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
To die, and they have organs that are fresh and ready to use, they go straight to RBG.
All these qualities, Ellie, make you an endearing and fascinating person, but there's one quality that you have that soars above all the others, and that's that you love people, that you're a mensch. When your nursery school friend Hutchie used to cry, and that happened every day, because Hutchie was a crybaby, You would go in and give him a big hug every single time and give him a pat. You're great on talking on the phone because you're curious about people's lives and you ask them real questions and you keep the conversation going for the sake of keeping the conversation going. And you're socially courageous. I one time brought you to the floor of a nursing home with people with really severe dementia and you noticed a lady going and so you just strolled up to her like she was a potential new camp friend or a school friend and said, "Do you play trumpet too?" And she said no, but you still made eye contact after that. You ask people how they're doing and you mean it. You say please and thank you without any prompting. You're engaged and noble and responsible as a son and a brother and a friend. And you seek to please, but you're never fake, and you know how to apologize. So we said it this morning, and I want to say it again though, that I'm so grateful, and Abby is so grateful, and everybody in your life is so grateful. I'd like to just say a Shehecheyanu, praising God for bringing us to this moment, keeping us standing and alive and sustained to be here at this moment with you as you enter this new thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higyanu lezman hazeh. Amen. Cheers. Cheers.
Dad.
Yeah.
When I was putting together this little photo show that we're about to look at, it was actually pretty hard to find pictures of Ellie without other people with him. There are some pictures that I found eventually where he was alone, but you'll notice a lot of pictures of Ellie near the water, trying to get into the water, even when he didn't know how to swim, and a lot of pictures of him being loved by people who are just close to him, and him being a good friend. And one of the things that I've always loved about you is that you don't hold a grudge. And it is a gift to everyone around you. And I could go on as well, but I won't. So,
I went on.
thank you for such an amazing day with us. We were so, so, so proud of you. Okay.